Hi, I'm George Mariner Mole, Artistic Director of the Discovery Orchestra, where we teach listening skills that help people connect with classical music. In this Discovery Orchestra chat, we'll take a look at ornaments. What is a musical ornament, anyway? Musically speaking, it's a way of decorating a part of a melody, a very small part of a melody, as in one note or pitch. There are lots of different kinds of ornaments. One is called a trill, not to be confused with a thrill. A trill is a rapid alternation between two adjacent pitches. Let's decorate the second note of Three Blind Mice with a trill. Now, a one-off between adjacent pitches, either above or below the note that we start on, as opposed to the continuing alternation that is happening with a trill, is called a mordent. Let's use Three Blind Mice again to put a mordent on the second pitch. Now, there are lots of other types of ornaments we could describe, but who cares about ornaments? Well, of course, we musicians do, and really perceptive listeners just might also care. When we listen to music written during what is called the Baroque era, that time when in musical history composers such as Bach, Handel, and Vivaldi were writing, ornaments were a big deal, especially under certain circumstances. When a composer like Bach wrote a section of music which he asked the performer to repeat, it was just assumed that the performer would add his or her own ornaments the second time through the music. I'm going to play one section of a keyboard prelude written by Johann Sebastian Bach. The first time through, there will be no ornaments. The second time through, I'll add ornaments. Now, I do not claim to be an expert in Baroque ornamentation. Some of you Baroque experts out there might even cringe a bit, but the primary purpose of this exercise is to get you, the listener, to notice when I add an ornament. If you want, make tally marks whenever you perceive an ornament. When I'm finished, I'll tell you how many I've added. Okay, here comes the repeat as asked for by Bach with ornaments. How'd you do? Well, for starters, you may have noticed that most of my ornaments were mordents. Now, if you got 3 to 5, you were probably eating a sandwich, texting a friend, or just thinking about other things while I was playing. But if you got 6 to 10, you were really paying attention. Now, if you got exactly 14, you get the Perceptive Listener Award. Now, if you don't believe me, play this YouTube again. And the next time you're listening to either live or recorded Baroque music, listen for the artists to add ornaments in the repeated sections of instrumental and vocal compositions.